Okay, hello everyone. We are live from the Illinois State Master Gardener Conference here in Springfield, and my name is Candace Hart. I'm the interim State Master Gardener Coordinator as well as a horticulture educator, and I have our other horticulturists here today. You guys want to introduce yourselves? I should probably turn the sound off. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Kelly Alsop, and I commonly refer to myself as horticulturist extraordinaire.
And we let you.
I love entomology too, and I love working with the master gardeners. And so, we thought this would be a great time to talk about what the master gardeners do. And some of them are winning some great awards today through the organization. So that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Ryan Pancall, horticulture educator out of Champaign County. So
Excellent.
yeah, glad to be on today.
You mean you don't want to be extraordinaire also?
I'm no extraordinaire.
What?
You can keep that title.
Okay.
We're okay with that.
I've tried to convince my boss over and over to put that on my name tag, and she refuses. But one day.
Well, someday. So while we wait for our first Master Gardener to come in, we're going to be interviewing some Master Gardeners here today, ones that have won awards and they've done great projects in their community. So while we wait for some of them to come in, let's talk a little bit about the Master Gardener program and kind of what it entails. So the Master Gardener program is one of our biggest volunteer programs in the state. And the idea is that Master Gardeners, local volunteers, take the gardening information that is created at the university, that our educators kind of teach them, and distribute that to the public. So there are only so many of us throughout the state, so many educators, and we have over 3,000 Master Gardeners in the state of Illinois. So they can reach a great number of population throughout the state. So they educate a lot of gardeners.
How I describe it is like when I'm in Bloomington or Pontiac or Eureka, some of the base towns that I contribute to, I do this much work, and the master gardeners do this much work.
Yeah.
And so I'm just here to help inspire them. However, most of the time they're inspiring me. Help educate them, give them the educational backing that they need. And it really is all about becoming a community volunteer and going out and educating. So they can work at community gardens, work with kids, work with libraries. In Bloomington, we even have a radio program, so they're on the radio, every so often. And then I think the most important aspect that Master Gardeners do is the help desk. And Ryan's got a great help desk.
We have a very active help desk. I think that's a great explanation of the program, Kelly. And I really view them as the boots on the ground or the front lines in horticulture education. So in our unit in particular, and I know you guys do some of this too in yours, we have a horticulture hotline where anybody in the general public can call in, and our Master Gardeners research and provide answers to them about anything plant related. And the questions go much further beyond just plant questions.
Oh, yeah.
We get questions across the board that we answer to the best of our ability. And I think it's a great resource to the general public, to your average homeowner that has plant issues going on in their yard and doesn't know what to do. So I don't know the number off the top of my head, but it's somewhere around about 500 calls a year that we field just in Champaign.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great bit of outreach that U of I Extension gets to do, and that would not be possible without Master Gardeners. From time to time when that horticulture hotline backs up, I do take some of those phone calls, and it takes a lot of time to research and provide an answer if you don't know that off the top of your head. So it really is a valuable service we provide to folks.
Yeah, it is. And a part of being the Master Gardener is that you go through a training program. Of course, we have a 60-hour training program for Master Gardeners. But really what you kind of gain at the end of that is where to find information, really. You learn a lot in those 60 hours, but you can't retain all that, obviously. So what we try to teach Master Gardeners is where to find that research-based information so that when these questions do come in, they know where to find those answers. Yeah.
And so we do have like live in-person trainings throughout the state, whether it be the fall or the winter. And it's strategically, how we can fill up the classes. But Candace has really been showing us that how popular this online Master Gardener training has been. So it's a cool program where you can just sit at home and do these webinars online, and it's just...
Yeah, it's really fun that you can do it from home in your pajamas. You don't have to go to a 6-hour a day class that we traditionally do. So we're really reaching a new group with that, which is really great.
Yeah, it really works well for folks that are working and have a work schedule to work around, and it just really fits any time that you have the time.
Yeah. So if you're just popping on, we are live from the State Master Gardener Conference here in Springfield, talking about the Master Gardener program and the great things that Master Gardeners do in the community. And I think our first real live Master Gardener is here and ready to talk to us.
Let's go ahead and welcome Teresa. Welcome, Teresa. Now, I know Teresa is from Paris,
yes,
part of Edgar County, and Teresa won the Sustained Excellent Award, which means she's already won one award through this program. So she's already been an outstanding Master Gardener. So she gets like A++++. And so she is, I talked with her a little bit. She's a farm girl, and she loves being a Master Gardener. So I'm going to ask her a few questions. We're just going to talk. So Teresa, what is the most interesting thing that you have done as a Master Gardener?
I think educating folks how to work with their landscape, how to improve it, how to tweak it after a few years. Everybody puts landscape in, they're real excited, and 5-6 years down the road, you're starting to see issues coming up. And giving them advice on, hey, you can take this down to the ground, it'll come back, it'll be lovely. Get them over the oh my God moments. I get that a lot, especially pruning.
Yeah.
They'll have something that's way overgrown and it's eating the side of the house. And I just don't know what to do. And I'm like, what? We could do this and we could cut it back. Oh, won't that kill? No, I won't kill it. It actually will make it a lot happier plant, and it's going to make you a lot happier. So that's one of the things that I really enjoy doing with the public is kind of getting them over them oh my God moments.
So did you prune your plants before you became a Master Gardener?
When I was a teenager, we had a peach tree my dad had planted at one time. And that was my first experience on pruning. And my dad went out and looked at the tree and, oh my God, you killed it! And I'm like, oh, I hope not. And the tree did really good the next year. We had really big peaches, and everything like that. And that was really, truly my first experience of doing that. And then as years went on, I've gained a lot of education and got over the oh my God moment.
Yeah, I think you're right. A lot of people are scared.
Yeah, they really truly are. They're just scared to get the pruners out, and they don't know where to go with them, and educating them on proper cutting techniques, how to look at the branch and, send the branch in the correct direction. Just little things like that.
Well, and pruning is something that you really have to get hands-on with.
You do.
Yeah,
you don't learn from a book.
You do.
You really got to get.
You can get a book, and it'll give you a kind of a basic, But over the years, I've talked to other people with much more experience than me, and gained a lot of knowledge from them. So I try to pass that on.
Very good.
So you won a Sustained Excellent Award, which means you must have contributed somehow in a very impactful way to a community project where you're from. So tell us about that one of those community projects that you'd like to give a shout out to.
The one that we recently did was we were approached by the cancer group in Paris at the hospital. They was wanting to do a cancer retreat garden, some place where the families could go while their families were members were getting treatment. They just get outside and get some fresh air, and it's just a peaceful little corner of the world where they could just go and enjoy some, we've got a little fountain in there, and we've got, flowers and stuff and trees planted. And it's just a place maybe to go push the wheelchair to get them outside for a few minutes. So we were approached on that, bounced ideas off. We had to work within the confines of what the hospital itself had visualized. And came out really nice, I think. It's still a work in progress because they did, right after we got it in, they decided to do another building on project. So right now it looks pretty rough. But once they get done doing what they're doing, then we'll go back in there and we'll play with it.
I find those kind of therapeutic horticulture gardens are getting really popular in the Master Gardener program.
They are. The unfortunate thing, I think, with that program is they was wanting to have a lot of hands-on type things for some of the people that were ill. And it was kind of tough to point out, but, I said, we need to kind of keep an idea how many people we can have involved in this. Because, today everybody's feeling great. I feel like going out and doing something. But as everybody knows, gardening, you got to stay on top of it, and you've got to have a certain number of people just to go out there and pull the weeds. And I said, we don't want to get something that's so involved that 2 or 3 of the peoples go downhill, and they can't participate. Now we don't have the same amount of folks out there working, so we try to keep it simple as much as possible.
Yeah. Did you pick particular plants, like sensory plants?
I did for the pot. We did some pots, and I tried to put some stuff in there that just had some texture to it, that would move with the wind and stuff like that. Stuff that has some smell to it. I love plants that you can touch, like rosemary and some of those kind of stuff. We did incorporate some of those in there. We just tweak it as time goes on. We'll keep tweaking it.
And do you go there and you find people are actually relaxing?
I really haven't seen that many people back in there, but usually when I'm popping in and popping out, it's early in the morning because I do landscaping, so I'm kind of I got a half hour here where I can go in and pull the weeds and check on things, and then I'm out the door.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for going and pulling the weeds in the 30 minutes you have.
I'm a weird person. My kids yell at me when I go to a restaurant and I reach over and get on there. Mom, don't do that.
Do you find that flexibility to be nice, though, with the Master Gardener program, that you can
That is
volunteer?
the reason I've been able to be a Master Gardener. I have been self-employed for several years. I worked for the city of Paris for 9 years, and they were very generous and let me have time off to go to meetings. And I have more flexible time than a lot of folks do.
Sure. Great.
What was the most surprising aspect of becoming a Master Gardener? Did you, come into the organization thinking it was a particular way and something took you by surprise?
I actually had no idea what Master Gardeners was. It was 2001 when I was asked, and the gentleman that started our group in Edgar County, Harry Clayton, got to give a shout out to Harry Clayton. He's passed, but he was a heck of a mentor and for a lot of people. But when Harry approached me, he just was, would you be interested? And I'm like, yeah. And as time went on, I was amazed what I picked up from Master Gardeners. I mean, it's just camaraderie between everybody, but just, you never stop learning with Master Gardeners. What is something that was regular a few years ago, now they'll take it and throw it on its ear, and now we're doing something else. And I'm seeing that a lot in the industry right now.
So the classroom learning is a great start for things, but I mean, you've kind of commented on the field stuff. I think a lot of folks in the program in Champaign County really benefit from that field interaction with other folks.
Absolutely. There's just like you mentioned a little bit ago, you can learn certain aspects of things from a book, but that hands-on thing, you just cannot.
There's no other way to get it.
That's exactly right. Experience is a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that is the Master Gardener program, is that, you're not saying you're a master of everything and knowledge.
You can't know it all.
Because, the 3 of us are not even close either. It's just that you are a willing learner.
Very much so.
And then you find that you start to get certain passions in the Master Gardener program.
Trees has been
find
my
your
niche.
Trees is your niche.
Trees is definitely my niche.
Cool.
We have another program in Edgar County called Trees for Tomorrow that I volunteer for, and stuff that I've went to Master Gardener education things I've used with that program. So planting trees, there's just so much. People need to be educated about that because they just don't know. Yeah. And one of the classes that I went to, one of the gentlemen was explaining how, you go to Europe and you have trees that are 100 years old, and the same variety of trees here, if they make it to 50 years old, they're dancing the jig of joy.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's because the tree was improperly planted. Or it came out of the container, and it wasn't, you didn't mess with it as it came out of the container. So I really tried to pass that on.
Or wrong location for the wrong tree.
Amen.
Yeah.
Look up.
Time.
Yeah.
Look, don't plant it under a power line.
And that's a really really
Yeah.
easy fix at the start
It
if you
is.
have that foresight.
And that's one aspect that so many people don't think about. One of the first classes that I ever went to, the educators put a thing on the wall, and it was a picture of a blue spruce and Hickshues eating a house, basically.
Yeah.
And they said, well, how many of you have seen this? And, we all shot our hands up in the air. And do you know what you would do to fix this, And we're all kind of sitting there going, and so as the time has went on, now I know, how to explain that to a homeowner or a client or anybody like that. This is why you don't do this.
Yeah.
You're walking around with that little blue spruce that's this tall, and I put it 20 feet from the sidewalk. Oh, that'll be fine. No.
Yeah, you figure it
No,
out
it
later,
won't.
right?
So,
Awesome.
Teresa, it was wonderful talking to you and
Yeah.
getting to see a little bit of your passion.
Thank you.
You are a great representation of a Master
I am
Gardener,
so
and
appreciative.
congratulations on your award, your Sustained Excellence
Yes.
Award.
Thank you.
Yes.
And
I'm honored that you asked me.
now
to
we
say
want
that.
you to go out into the world and kick mulch volcanoes away from
Oh,
the
honey,
trees.
if you knew how many times.
Yeah, we do it too. We're right there
Every
with
day.
you.
When we were on tour yesterday, I seen that, and that was one of my buddies that was just, oh my gosh, they got that mulch all the way up against the trees.
yes.
Shame on them.
It's-
I know. You'd think as much as we've preached it over the years,
I
but,
know.
but the industry's still doing it.
I know. I
unfortunately.
keep saying you get T-shirts made, like
Yeah.
no mulch volcanoes.
Yeah, you got to get it to the homeowners.
You
too.
do, yeah.
That's you got to explain it to them.
Very
Well, you have a good
Well, thank
rest
you,
of your
Teresa.
conference.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you so
thank
much.
you, and congrats.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, everyone, we are still live from the Master Gardener Conference here in Springfield. We are talking to some awesome Master Gardeners and doing some interviews here. If you have questions about the Master Gardener program or questions for any of us or our Master Gardeners, feel free to pop those into the comments here and we will answer those. But we've got our next Master Gardener ready to go.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you so much.
So this is one of my Master Gardeners. When we're educators and we run a Master Gardener program, we take credit for everything that they do.
Sure.
So I'm really proud to introduce Kathy Otto, and she works in Bloomington. And Kathy is a newer Master Gardener, but she won Outstanding Master Gardener, and let me tell you, this award was well deserved.
Thank you so much.
So, how long have you been a Master Gardener, Kathy?
I think I had the training in 2015.
19.
Yeah. Say all that.
So 3
But,
years.
we have been away from the Bloomington area for quite some time, lived up in Chicago. And then when my husband and I retired, we decided to go back to Bloomington. And it's kind of, I got to the Bloomington area thinking, okay, how am I going to meet people and what am I going to do with my free time? And I became a Master Gardener, and both were answered with the same, hobby. So it's been terrific, and I think the staff at McLean County is just fabulous. We learned so much from them.
Well,
Put her on the
that's
back
a
here.
great point too of the social aspect of the program.
Yeah, that's
You're
that's a
connecting
big
with
part of the
other
program. Yeah.
gardeners.
Well, and sometimes when you retire, you stay friends with the people you work with. Here, you have people from all walks of life, and they have so many interests, and they have so much to add, and you have teachers, you have people who are administrators, and the blend of everything just works real well.
So that camaraderie is really one of your favorite parts of the Master Gardener
It
program?
really is. And also the education. I mean, you're always learning something from someone. And whether you're somebody new or from the background, like my grandparents used to farm, and so there's certain things that I kind of bring that I like to share, and there's just various interests.
Well, the nice thing is when there is a question or a problem or an issue, it's such a diverse group usually of Master Gardeners with different expertise that we usually have the answer amongst ourselves.
It's
If the
true.
educator doesn't know or another Master Gardener doesn't know, there's another Master Gardener in
And
the
it's an
program that
expert
does.
in that area.
Yeah,
So-
you go back to staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, who was always
And then
helping.
we ask on campus or find it somewhere.
Yes. We're always looking for the answers to
Yeah.
that question.
Yeah.
Always. So, there is a reason you won an Outstanding Master Gardener Award. What projects were you involved with? And was it easy to get involved?
It was so easy, and that's what's so amazing is that there's so much opportunity. And so with one of my mentors that was helping me, she said there's a class or a program that's up in Janesville, Wisconsin. And so let's go up. It was by the University of Wisconsin, their program, and it was about gardening and all the different aspects of it. So we went there, and it was horticulture, with growing and sensory and things like that. So went to that, and actually there were three of us. It was Chris Kraft, and it was Susan Stroyan. And so we went up the night before, got to explore the Rotary Gardens, and came back and thought, we can do that down here. So the following year, we talked to Mike Maddox, and he decided to come and do a presentation. And we did a second one this past year, and it just went over very well. In fact, Kelly and I did a program together on sensory awareness in the garden. So it's been a lot of fun.
Cool.
So you learn to educate other people as well as continuing education.
Where'd you bring this program to?
I guess I'm trying. Actually, we brought it to the Cancer Center. So the Cancer Center was a wonderful sponsor. They have a wonderful building, and they invited the Master Gardeners to come and help build a healing garden. And Susan Stroyan was kind of one who spearheaded a labyrinth within that healing garden. We actually have like 3 sections to that area. And so it's wonderful because the staff can go out and use it, the patients can use it, families are invited to come. In addition, the Master Gardeners also have a butterfly release, they have a ladybug program, things for children to do. So it's been a great component, and that's what's so wonderful about, the Master Gardeners in McLean County. We participate in a lot of different organizations.
And creating the partnerships is kind of a big part of that, right?
Again, notice the theme.
Yeah, right.
So, the Master Gardeners built this beautiful, amazing garden at this cancer center, and then staff came up to him and said, okay, now let's focus on the educational component. And Kathy just ran with it. And they put together this amazing day-long conference on therapeutic horticulture. And so we really got a really diverse audience. Can you tell us a little bit about what kind of people we were teaching?
There were people who were parents who had children who had some disabilities. We had occupational therapists from nursing homes. We had other master gardeners. And it was just wonderful, all the different input that they had. And just some of the topics. In fact, Kelly, maybe you can, remind me, but we did do Walking the Labyrinth, and so people were able to paint stones, and so they could have it at home and use their finger and use the meditation.
I remember, too, the one program that I thought was really impactful was pretending to have one of those disabilities of the clientele we're actually trying to reach. If it's hard for you to get around, or if it's hard for you to hear, how do you adapt to a student like that? I thought that was just really impactful for me.
Opened your eyes, I'm sure. Yeah.
That was one I did the year before. So what we did was we had people come to a table, and there were 10 places, and each table had like a placemat with like a certain post-it note color. And when they sat down, that post-it note coordinated with one of the disabilities. So you either had to put your hand in like a sling, or you had to sit in a wheelchair. And then they had, the activity we had was press flowers. So we had frames available and different colors of fresh flowers, and then they would use glue and glue them on and then take them away. And we talked about, how would you change this? How do you have to modify it according to what disability that you have? So it was really fun because they went away with the craft, but they learned a lot. And so we had other workshops in the afternoon.
It makes you think outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
I mean,
things you might not think
a bit
about.
of a disability yourself.
Yeah. So we're hearing a theme so far. Our first Master Gardener also talked about a cancer center therapeutic horticulture project, but there's so many other audiences that can work with. Like you mentioned, nursing homes, veterans programs, children,
even young children at home.
Yeah.
Now, this year, our keynote speaker was Barbara Kresge, and she was from the Chicago Botanical Gardens.
Yeah, they have a great program.
And she did. She did a wonderful presentation, and then after a break, then she came back, and what all the individual people were able to do was to build a Zen garden, and it had a stone, and it had a succulent and sand, and then they had a little bamboo fork. And so it's kind of like, how do you use that? How do you modify that?
Sure.
Get a child who kind of has a focus problem, and kind of getting them to slow down. So there are, so many things that you can use, gardening and aspects that you can change and modify.
So I think, Kathy really went with this project and showed us how passionate she was. And then, she's been a wonderful master gardener to work with personally. And I want to congratulate you on your Outstanding Master Gardener Award. I have a feeling if we came here 2 years from now, you'll probably get the Sustained Excellence.
You're so sweet.
Because I don't see you going anywhere anytime soon, because you really seem passionate about this program, and we are very lucky to have you.
Well, thank you. Again, it's such a pleasure. It's so enjoyable. You just find that you want to get out and in the garden and be with people, and there's just so many aspects to being a master gardener. It's if I came to anybody and they said, what should I do? It's like, join the Master Gardeners. It's just wonderful. So
great.
Awesome.
Well, thank you,
You
Kathy.
have
Congratulations.
a great rest of your
Congrats.
conference.
Congratulations. Okay, everyone, we're still live here from the Master Gardener Conference here in Springfield. We've talked to two awesome Master Gardeners so far, and we've got another one ready to go. So if you have questions for any of our Master Gardeners, questions for us about the program, feel free to pop those into the chat box. And thank you for watching, and our next Master Gardener is ready.
Okay, our next Master Gardener is Barb Wells, and she won Outstanding Master Gardeners. And I know I picked a few Master Gardeners that I work personally with, so she is another one that I know her really well, and I know what she's been doing in the program, and she's another one of those diamonds in the program that's really you've not been a Master Gardener for very long either.
No, class of 2015.
Okay, so we
Same
have
class.
an amazing 2015
They've
class.
done
you
great
guys.
things.
So you won the Outstanding Master Gardener Award today.
Yes,
So
we did.
congratulations,
Thank you.
congratulations. So can you tell me, what are what was the project or projects that you've been working with in Bloomington that helped get you this award?
Home Lawn and Garden Day was probably one of them. I was co-chair for we're in 2018. Co-chair for 2017, and then I was chairman of the event for 2018. And yeah, I had the title of chairman, but it took a village to put that event on, and it was so fun to work with a lot of talented people, which in any project that I've done, there's so much talent in the Master Gardener program. It's an amazing group of people. And when I was put up for this award, I'm like, no, there's so many other people. So I was very humbled to be included with them. But Home Lawn and Garden Day, I like organizing things. My background was Parks and Recreation. So it was fun to see all the pieces come together and then how much people enjoyed it.
So these people probably have no idea what Home Lawn and Garden Day is. Can you explain
Tell
that?
us what that is.
Sure, and you need to
1 minute or less.
Mark your calendar, right?
Mark your calendar now for March 2nd, 2019. It's a day of gardening. Winter's still out there. Some years I think it's been snowing. So it's a day to come in, and for your registration fee, you get an opening session. This past year, Sandy Mason did shrubs. A noon session, we had Ella Maxwell with annuals, what's new at the Garden Center, and then we ended our day with Susan Martin from Michigan, Gardener Sue on Facebook, who talked about gold standard perennials. In between, you get lunch, you get to choose 3 workshops from about 33 options.
Which
You
is a
get
lot.
to shop a silent auction, and then you get to shop vendors. So this year, an exciting thing we have coming is Jack Barnwell is the designer of Mackinac Island Gardens, and Jack is our keynote speaker.
Cool.
So just an awesome day. Master Gardeners come together, but so does the community, the different businesses. We are talking 2019.
Well, and a great way to shake off the winter blues. It's
Yeah.
really nice.
Absolutely.
Get excited
You
about
come
getting
in
out there in the
and,
garden.
a few of the vendors do actually have some plants. It's a little bit dicey early, but some have them. You can go home with gardener. You can go home with plants. You can find out about gardening events in the community. There's just so much that you
Start to
can get
plan
out.
and get excited for the growing season.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
It's like going home. I always buy garden art when I'm there.
Yeah, and a lot of our counties, a lot of our units do similar
Garden
programs
days
too.
And
so.
that's my favorite part about Home Lawn and Garden Day is I see so many of the master gardeners teaching, and that's exactly what it's like.
That's what it's about.
If I can get them to teach and spread their knowledge and spread what they've learned, then I've really hit the pinnacle of my career. So that's why I love Home Lawn and Garden Day, because I see it's like I helped teach that person, and it it kind of is a great, and it's a huge event. You guys get about how many attendees?
About 260. We can take a few more, but it gets really crowded.
So all that organizing for 260. Candace should know. She's been
we have
organizing
about 300 here at this conference.
a
so
State
you guys
Master
do great.
Gardener Conference, and
Yeah.
so that's been. I'm sure a challenge.
Yeah.
So why did you become a Master Gardener in the first place?
So that I could volunteer on the projects. One of my staff members years and years ago, and she wound up being my mentor for the Master Gardener program, came to me, hey, I would like to do this program, work time, and then she used it for our participants, which were individuals with disabilities. So I really want to do that program when I retired, and so that was a goal. Saved vacation time, so my last month of working, I was never there on Wednesdays. But I wanted to be in the projects. Sarah's Garden is a program that's been near and dear to my heart. It's an original garden. It's been there since 1872. I was not there when Master Gardeners restored it, brought it back, but I get to work in that garden. And at first I was a little bit afraid. I'm like, whoa, these are heritage plants. And they're like, Barb, if they're still here since 1872,
They survived this long, you're good.
So,
That's very true.
So Barb, you mentioned your mentor, and that's an aspect of the Master Gardener program that we try and do that connects the new trainees with others. Would you mind just kind of explaining how your mentor relationship works for folks at home, or how that aspect
Sure,
works?
and I've had a chance to be mentored, and now this past class I was a mentor for somebody else.
Nice.
They're there to help us through because it's a little bit overwhelming. You come in, you get that gigantic book. It's like, oh my goodness, in 12 weeks I'm going through this whole book, and there's quizzes every week. So the mentor was there to get me initiated to the program, being there with me, meeting me there the first day. She was available if I had questions, because we took a quiz each week, and even though it was open book, so don't let the word quiz scare you. It was just a nice person to go to, and there are a few times I'm like, cannot figure out this answer, and she's like, well, but it was also somebody to take me to some of the projects, because everybody is so nice. They welcome you with open arms. But still, it can sometimes be intimidating, so she took me out to some of them, and then I did the same thing with Carol, who I mentored. Hey, try some of these projects, and then we all kind of find our niche, even though
I've seen where it does really help get you involved with a group on a project.
It
That's
does,
where it's probably the most useful.
Yeah, you go to quarterly meetings. Hey, have you met this person? Have you met Kelly? Have you met Candace? Good way, but then you're totally enveloped into the program. But it's nice to have that one person to start the program with.
And she brought up another really good point too, where she was like, there are so many different projects. So meaning that whatever your interests are in the Master Gardener program, you're probably going to find something you want to do.
Yeah, I always tell people at the start of training is that we have these 10 kind of topics that we're going to cover: trees, vegetables, fruits, all of it. But by the end of this, you tend to kind of find that topic that you really love, or that's going to kind of be your niche, and then you kind of pick your projects based on kind of what you're interested in.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And she used her career experience. That's my other favorite
That-
part about
yeah.
Master Gardeners.
Yeah.
I have
Oh, yeah.
I have Master Gardeners who have these amazing careers before they retire, and I'm like, oh, you're in. You're in.
We could use your help.
And so it's like they're giving us their talents too. They're not just helping us extend our program, we're actually kind of exploiting their talents too. So
And we really do need just about any talent you bring.
Oh,
to
yeah,
your
for
career.
sure,
I mean,
for
just like
sure.
you talked about being a chair of a committee that plans something. That's a skill we need. There's, the financial end of a lot of these events that we need folks to deal with.
Yeah, a lot,
So yeah, like really anything you can bring from your career plus the horticulture knowledge, we put together into things we do.
And you don't have to have that horticulture knowledge to start with.
No.
That's what the training program's for. So it's great.
So how do you think that your Master Gardener program benefits your community?
Oh my goodness, there's so much. My specific program are just some of the ones that we've done.
Yeah.
There are so many out there that are, Unity Community Center. I've helped out there. We're teaching the children who can then go home and teach the parents. But there's also the garden. They have produce they can take home. We had the Herb Festival in the summer. ISU Hort Center, where we have the herb garden there, but then we help on some of their events and educating the community. There's just so many things that the community has the opportunity to come to. It's widely publicized through U of I Extension, but then the word just gets passed. People see us, they come visit Sarah's garden, we're all these school groups that come. This year I think we have 6 groups scheduled already. We're reaching 50 to 75 kids each time, and then they go home, hey, this is out here. People coming through the mansion was like, you can be a master gardener, and we have talked to some people who then said, hey, I want to do that program. We just had one this summer when we did a workshop. I was like, here's the information, call the office.
Yeah.
So we're spreading the word of plants.
We're spreading the word of plants,
Get it
and
out
we're
there.
making, the pollinator program, we're doing the pollinator pockets in so many of our projects, but then we also tell people this is how you can do it at home. We've said it through Home Lawn and Garden Day. We've said it in some of the different educational sessions we have, whether it's Hort Therapy Conference or it's a Unity program, Children's Discovery Museum.
So thank you so much for visiting with us today, and we wanted to congratulate you for winning Outstanding Master Gardener.
Congratulations.
And hope that you've inspired some other people, and I want you to have a great rest of your conference.
Thanks you.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for joining
Yeah,
us.
thank you, Barb.
Thank you. Okay, if you are just joining us, we are live from the State Master Gardener Conference here in Springfield. We are interviewing some Master Gardeners who have won awards and have just done, in general, awesome things in their communities. And we have our next Master Gardener ready to chat with us.
Okay, our next Master Gardener is Carol Casanda, and she actually is part of a teamwork award. Again, I'm sorry, I know I pulled another person from my unit. I promise this is the last one.
That's okay.
I mean, you're the educator.
You
You're
know
just
it.
so proud of them, and you want to be like, show them off. But she was part of Holten Homes and won a teamwork award for it. So can you tell them what Holten Homes is and why you guys won that teamwork award?
Sure. So Holten Homes is it's a low-income housing area, and we run a 4-H group there to allow the kids, some of the kids who live at Holten Homes, to come and join a 4-H group. We call it the Nature Workers, and we plant a community garden there. And this year, we expanded the garden. We've included some seniors. And we were one of the grant recipients, so we had some extra funds, and we did all kinds of cool stuff with it this year. So I don't have the exact number, but I know it's in the hundreds of pounds. It was over 100 pounds of produce that we provided to this small community area, and mostly it's about the kids at Holten Homes. They are part of a 4-H group, and it's just great to see kids like that who would never have that chance to participate in something like that.
So tell me, where do you take these kids and their vegetables after they've grown them?
To the McLean County Fair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Very
and
cool.
it's,
That's really fun.
it's really great to see their reaction at the fair when they win blue ribbons, or even to just go see some of the sights and sounds of the county fair is just amazing. Really rewarding.
And you've had some state award winners too from your program.
Yes, indeed we have. So, yeah, I think...
That's the 4-H kids, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
state
so beyond the
winners
blue
part,
ribbon,
so.
they get to
Yeah.
the state fair.
Yeah, we have. And
Very
last
cool.
year we had a really I mean, we had a great kid that won like the best of show for his Barista cucumber. Was just so proud of himself. So it was great. I mean, it was really cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fulfilling.
So,
that's a great
you guys
audience.
are doing some excellent work with this program. Not only are you teaching them how to grow their own vegetables, and I know you guys are all about eating the vegetables too.
Yes.
And so,
and that doesn't always go over the best with those kids.
What's been one of the best things the kids have liked, and what's been one of the things that the kids haven't liked?
The kids loved the salsa we made. We made salsa last year, and this year we did some of that too, and they loved the salsa. They're kind of not so keen on some of the, like the broccolis and the cabbages and that kind of thing. But yeah, anything you kind of make, they just are really proud and happy to participate in all that.
But I think you're wearing them down, though.
I think we are.
Keep
'Cause,
trying.
Here's the thing: a little ranch dressing.
Yeah.
And it all
There
tastes
goes
Oh, yeah, you
wonderful.
try anything with
There you
ranch
go.
on it.
So.
Great. Dressing is pretty good.
You can't beat it.
So what's your favorite part of being a master gardener?
My favorite part would be, working with kids. I retired recently, just 2 years ago, and I worked in the business world, which is just full of really boring adults for 38 years. And I volunteer with a lot of different things, churches, my church, and some of the not-for-profits in town. It's all adults. So with Master Gardener, I thought, I'm going to work with kids. And I really tried hard to focus my energies on projects that involve kids, and it's just been great. I get so much more out of it than they do, believe me. It's wonderful.
Well, it's important to build that exposure to plants and kids.
Yes.
Yeah, at a
a
young
lot of them
age,
don't get
yeah.
it.
And to see, now what I love, although I've only been working with Holten now 2 years, because I'm kind of a new master gardener, but even to see the kids from year 1 to year 2, tremendous learning and what they know. And gosh, Kelly, they love when you come and talk about good bugs and bad bugs.
Yep.
That is with them. That is with them. We go into the garden, they're like, is that a good bug or a bad bug? And I hope I know the answer.
Yeah, right.
You're like, hold on, let me look that up on my
I'm
phone.
still kind of new.
Check
at
my
this.
flashcards.
Right, exactly. So,
That's great.
yeah.
Yeah, I love working with the kids, and that seems to be like this, this new trend, you guys, in horticulture, how we're saying, is there enough people in the horticulture industry?
Yeah, there's a
And-
serious concern about the lack of educated people in the horticulture industry,
And we have
to start them at that age to get them
Yeah.
interested in horticulture. Because part of the problem is the term horticulture. It's a lot of people don't know what that is.
Right.
So you just
right.
you got to
and you hope, you plant the seeds, and you never know where these kids will go.
got to get them interested in plants. That's
it's great.
So we have a master gardener right here who's helping us with our horticulture
Yes.
industry.
Yes.
We have some
Thank
amazing
you.
Yeah,
kids
building the future.
who win
Yeah.
the state fair.
Yeah.
Come and come into the horticulture
Well,
industry.
really, just
Can't wait
having
to work with them.
Just having the basic knowledge to grow a vegetable garden. I mean, that's
Yeah.
something
Yeah, grow your own food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you kind of need to know about that early in life, or as an adult, you may not get into it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So.
So, what is the most interesting things about the program, meaning surprising? I mean, you maybe came in here with a preconceived notion of what master gardeners were, and what surprised you about it?
Oh, the most surprising thing, the most wonderful surprising thing is the people. I mean, I signed up for this program, again, to help fill my retirement because I love gardening. But I've just met this whole community of really wonderful people. And it's amazing how in 2 years I made some really good friends. And, it's just that common interest and the camaraderie. And it makes you want to do more because the people are so wonderful and great. And like Kelly here, for instance. Yeah, she's a wonderful example.
See, that's why I got her.
That's
in
why you
here.
asked about your people.
But
it's true.
My husband, he gets bored when I talk about gardening.
Yeah.
But these two guys here, I can talk
All
about
day.
gardening.
Oh,
We can talk all day.
Which is
Yeah.
another benefit of having
Yeah.
friends who are master gardeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because That's what you can talk about is
Exactly.
gardening.
Like
So,
you can get excited about a particular plant
yeah,
or
it's amazing.
go, that's an oak tree.
Yeah,
I can identify an oak tree.
exactly.
But they
So-
don't care if they don't know.
They really
Oh, wow.
don't care.
Okay,
Oh,
fine.
wow.
Your husband's the same way, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But then you get to go to work and work with all these great
Yeah,
master
exactly.
gardeners and say, oh, somebody who gets it.
Gets it. Yeah.
So there's definitely a different dynamic in my household. My wife is into plants,
Yeah.
but I find that I'm competing with her for gardening stuff.
Oh, there you
what
go.
what
Who
are we going
knows
to plant in this bed
knows
next
the
year?
mood?
And
I don't have that at home.
Yeah, it's-
I have one of those guys that's like, no more pots, please.
Oh, I diss on my husband a little bit, but he is there ready to pick up the shovel anytime I ask.
Yeah.
So he's
That's
wonderful at that part.
That is helpful.
So
Mine too.
Good,
all
good.
all that hard work in the yard, he does all that. So
very good.
that's good.
Do you have a favorite plant?
Well, you know, I have a couple of favorites. I have a favorite indoor plant is succulents for sure.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Me
sort of
too.
like
Me
Totally
too.
dig
nuts
succulents.
about
Good ones.
succulents, and I really think they're amazing, awesome, crazy, wonderful plants. And lately, my favorite plant outdoors, I love lantana.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Great
a
for
good
the
one.
butterflies and
Drought
you know,
tolerant.
Yeah, I live at a lake and it's kind of shady there, but I have one spot that's nice and sunny, and they're just so pretty, and yeah, they look great. I got.
So what's your favorite thing about succulents? Why succulents?
Because they're so geometrically interesting. Number one,
Yeah,
I mean
cool
that's
shapes.
me. I mean
Yeah.
like there is no other plant family that has the variety and the types of geometric shapes, and the coolest thing is the more they grow, the shapes change even. So yeah, I love that, and I love that they're like super easy to propagate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
yeah.
that.
Me
So
too.
everybody
You can
that
have a
knows
lot
me
of
gets
them.
a succulent garden at one point in their life. They're sort of like, stop with the succulents.
Well, they're fun to give away.
They
Yeah,
are.
they
And people
are.
love them.
Yeah, people do
I
love them. So
Yeah.
I love succulents.
I've actually been to this woman's house and she has succulents
do have a-
everywhere.
I do have a list. My whole
All
deck is
over
like
the
covered in
place,
succulents.
yeah.
I think the reason she likes them so much is because they're so easy.
Yeah, I don't
They
have
are
to do
easy.
anything.
That's another good
That's the
reason.
best.
That's
I don't have
another
to
good
water
reason.
them every
Yeah,
day.
you don't. And like sedum, those are a good outside sort of succulent-ish plant.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and same thing with those. You know, the longer they grow, the more interesting they get. Right?
So were you
They're
into succulents before you became a master gardener?
I not to the degree I am now. You know, I would say I started small and am continuing to learn about that. So, and I mean, weirdly, the same thing is true with vegetables. I mean, I'm one of those gardeners who's really been about flowers, but that's also why Holten Homes was great for me, because I thought this will be great. I'll learn all about vegetables and 4-H. I mean, I grew up in Chicagoland area. We didn't have 4-H. You know, so even that whole experience has really been great. But the learning is amazing. Yeah.
So, Carol, we want to take this time to congratulate
Thank
you again
you.
for your Teamwork Award. Of course, there's several other members
Yes, I
of
have
the
a
Master
great
Gardener
team.
program that also is going to get this award today.
Yeah.
And thank you for contributing to the kids.
Thank you.
Absolutely,
I love
Yes, thank you.
contributing to the kids. We
Yeah.
we need kids to love plants.
We do, and I love the kids,
And
and I
love
love when
nature.
they learn. It's great. So
So you enjoy the rest
Thank
of your
you.
conference
Yeah.
and
Thank
have
you
a
for
great
inviting
day.
Thank you for joining
Yeah.
us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Carol. Great
Thank
time.
you. Okay, thank you for those who are still watching us live from the State Master Gardener Conference here in Springfield. We have one more guest and about 5-10 minutes left in our segment here. So let's welcome our next guest who has a little bit of a different perspective on the Master Gardener program.
Definitely. I decided that I would invite Terri, who actually is a quite new county director. So we kind of have more experience than her. However, I can already tell just by listening to her speak, she's really passionate about this Master Gardener program. And, a county director really sees the impact that Master Gardeners have on their community. So I just wanted to have her come in here and talk a little bit. So did you know about the Master Gardener program before you became county director?
Well, I've been with Extension for 5 years.
Okay.
And I've only been a county director for 1 year. So the first 4 years of my extension career, I was actually in publicity and promotions with an adjoining unit to the south. And so prior to that, I really didn't know much of anything. I had seen some Master Gardener signs, but I really didn't understand it. And so through my position in publicity and promotions, which by the way I think was a great footing for me, because I covered every program. I got to see every end of extension, from youth to Master Gardeners to our economic development to our ag. I got to see it all. And I was so impressed with the Master Gardener program. And my first thought, being in communications, is why doesn't everybody know about these absolute treasures in their community? I mean, they're gems. And not only are they so knowledgeable, but they're so giving. And so I had not had that experience prior to extension, but by the time I became a county director, I knew what an amazing asset they are to the unit.
Definitely just volunteer, selflessly volunteering their time, because I just said earlier, it was like, me as the horticulture educator who leads these programs, I do this much work and they do this much work.
Yeah,
absolutely.
they spread it so much farther.
Well, I call them force multipliers.
Yeah.
All of our volunteers are with extension. We have very limited resources. And so without our volunteers and our Master Gardeners, that is their existence. They are charged with spreading knowledge. They're not just doing the physical work. Their main purpose is to help us spread the knowledge, the education, and go out into the communities and go in places and we can't. Not because we don't want to, but because we physically do not have enough man hours. And so the Master Gardeners allow us to multiply what we do and take that, $1, if you will, and really make it stretch so that we have, in my unit, 150 more people out there doing good educational work in the community. And that's huge.
It really multiplies.
Yeah, it really is.
150 volunteers, it's awesome.
It is.
And all very dedicated. As we know, we ask a lot of our Master Gardeners. A lot of people volunteer in a lot of different capacities in their community, but we task them with being very professional, with being very knowledgeable. We require them to go through a rigorous training program that's not easy. We require them to do a set amount of hours of community service. And that's not every volunteer organization sets those kinds of demands, but they meet those demands and not only
them.
they exceed them because they have that burning passion.
Yeah.
And so Master Gardeners naturally attract, I'm going to be, just a little bit biased here.
That's okay.
But the best kind of volunteers, because they really are selfless and it's really about what they're giving, much more than about what's in it for me. It's not a quick, oh look, I did this, pat on the back. It's really about the workmanship that they have and the getting it done and the relationships that they build with the people that they help and they serve. So to me, they're the best kind of volunteer you could ever want.
Yeah, I find that they really want to be there. When we teach class, I really get good questions from Master Gardeners.
That's
Not
the
that I
best
don't
thing.
from other groups, but thoughtful, great questions. They are just, as an educator or a presenter, they are just a wonderful crowd to present to or talk with. So
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is my interpretation. Kids, they're like college students, Master Gardeners.
Yeah.
Kelly, can you spell that, please?
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
So
It's an attentive
I
audience,
totally
for sure.
think that is, the passionate. So, today we're here, we're here at the State Master Gardener Conference. We're honoring exemplary Master Gardeners throughout the state. We talked about how amazing they are just as volunteers, but just getting an award. Do you have an award winner today that you can think about? That
We have several, yeah, and I'm thinking of Kathy Eiler right now. She's coming to mind because I've got to know her recently, and the great work she does. And when I found out she was winning, I sent her a quick note, and she wrote me a lovely note back saying how much she has gotten from the experience and how for her it's all about giving back. And so even though she was receiving this award, she takes it back to what it means for her. And what it means to her is not I've won an award, it's oh, my work is meaningful. What I've done has made an impact. It's made a difference. And that was the positive reinforcement. But, and just she was very complimentary to the staff and to Extension. And so it was impressive for me as we have a great group, and I haven't met them all yet, to just have that little bit of interaction. But we have an amazing group. And of course, again, I'm biased. Mine are the best. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, and
I don't know about that.
I do want to
friendly rivalry.
I do want to thank them though, because they have played a huge part in planning this conference here in Springfield. From putting we had tours yesterday to various gardens and locations in Springfield, and they've been amazing. Help plan this conference.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They've been very accommodating. We've had to move them around while they're trying to get things ready for programs that we had come up, and they've just handled it graciously. They did a beautiful job of providing decorations, and they planned that tour, which went off amazing.
Yeah,
we
it
got
was a
so
great,
many compliments
great tour
from the other master gardeners, which is what makes us feel good. I can take credit for that. It's the volunteers. It's Jennifer who gets the best out of every volunteer. I don't know, but I just like to give a shout out to the iris selling people. Those of you who don't realize, there were about 300 bags of iris rhizomes. I've been educated.
Yep, you got it right.
And I've also been told you're not supposed to say irises, it's an iris, but I'm still going to mess that up. It's a great story, and it shows how flexible our master gardeners can be and how they can reach a need in a direction that maybe isn't typical. But there was a lovely woman in our Springfield area who had an amazing iris garden. And she had, over the course of her life, it was about an acre of irises of any kind of variety you could imagine. And she was meticulous and a good gardener because she had a map.
Yeah.
And she knew where everything was and what they were. And she passed away, I guess about a year ago. And a family, she had connections with master gardeners and master gardeners vice versa, so there was a really good rapport there. And her daughter approached one of our master gardeners to say that the property had been sold, and the new owners were not particularly interested in upkeeping the irises. And her daughter also enjoys and loves iris as well. So she asked if the master gardeners would be interested in those rhizomes. And so in a week's time, they threw together a force you wouldn't believe. They showed up, they had a mission, leave no rhizome behind. And they were meticulous. Some of the things they were pulling up, like, we should bag this, we can't let it go, we can't let it go. So they did that. They bagged them all, they cleaned them. Not only did they're master gardeners, they labeled them with a picture with early, late bloom, rebloomers. Are they fragrant? Are they heirloom? All of that right there. And offering them for a very reasonable price. It was like $5 a bag, so it was a wonderful opportunity for that woman from the community to offer a fundraiser to give back to an organization that meant a lot to her, Master Gardeners, through the years. And then what I love about this is all of that woman's love for iris and what she put into that garden is now spread throughout the entire state of Illinois.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. Her life's work is out there. And so to me, now they're educated. They were teaching me, I know very little about plants. The master gardeners handed out a wonderful sheet explaining about irises I didn't know, how to plant them, how to care for them. So my daughters and I are going to plant those, and by golly, they're going to live. And I'm going to take pictures of them. But it's a wonderful testament to how we can help the community helps us, and we can spread that in places we never would have thought.
Well, and if you need some help figuring out how to keep them alive, you might know some master gardeners.
Yeah. You got some help.
I have Vince, one of our master gardeners who loves them, amazing guy. Vince, I'm going to be calling you.
And they know what they're doing because it's the time of the year where you're supposed to be dividing your irises right now.
Now is the
People
time.
out there, irises, divide your irises.
Yep.
So we want to thank you very much for coming in and talking about the Master Gardener program and attending the State Master Gardener Conference as a county director. I think all of us realize how busy you are managing so many different programs and prioritizing the Master Gardener volunteers. And so we thank you very much. And, we know you have an amazing horticulture educator. I know I kind of love Jennifer.
Yeah, she is.
Jennifer's kind of one of
awesome.
my BFFs. So I know I'm sure you love working with her too.
Yeah,
and
she's great. She makes my job so easy.
Yeah.
I just like to say this to everybody. Working for Extension, it's the best job in the world.
It is.
And it is
I
extremely
agree.
meaningful work.
It
So
is.
anyone out there who is looking for a career that's really meaningful, I would definitely recommend them looking at Extension. And anyone looking to volunteer in a way that really makes a difference, please join Master Gardeners, because it's an organization where you will get back just as much as you give.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Terry.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
We
you, Terri.
appreciate you.
Enjoy the rest of your conference.
to.
And go buy some more irises.
Yeah, go take some more.
I've got a bunch of them already.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for following along with us here at the State Master Gardener Conference in Springfield. We appreciate you watching. So we are the Horticulturists, and we're going to be live again on Thursday the 13th. So back to our regular format of questions. So if you have gardening questions, things you need help with, hop on back to Facebook again on Thursday the 13th at noon, and we're going to be live again. Anything else you guys want?
Well, if you want to know anything about the State Master Gardener program, we do have a State Master Gardener website, and then Candace is our leader for that program for a while. So she's doing online trainings. There's one coming up in this winter.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways that you can become a Master Gardener, online, in person, a lot of different options. So we have some of that information on the Master Gardener webpage that I think we've linked already, and we'll link it again in the comments. But your best resource is to call your local extension office. They'll tell you kind of what's going on locally and when's the next time that training will be happening. So we want to give one more awesome thank you to our Illinois Master Gardeners, because they do awesome things in their communities, and we're just about ready to go award them some awesome awards here. So thank you.
Yeah, it's like here's an award, and you just you want to give them the world.
Yeah, a
with what
certificate
they've
and a
given
plaque
to
just
you.
doesn't
So,
quite do it, but they
this
do
is
amazing things.
The least we can do for them.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody. Hopefully we'll see you next week for our next live.
Yeah. See you next week.
Bye.